Geri was the most godly person I knew, and we both had a vision to serve Christ with our lives.
We were pursuing God, active for God, leading other people to God. That was life. Everything else was secondary.
I did hear God to go back to New York City and plant a church. But it was in September of 1987 that we launched New Life Fellowship Church. And it was what we call a scratch church plant. There's only a few of us. At that point, we had one child, and I was working 78 hours a week. It was, I was the usher, greeter, worship leader, treasurer. I was the church. I know, looking back, I must have been crazy, but I had such a sense of God's hand and God's call.
I was very involved in the church doing women's ministry and children's ministry and tons of hospitality, and he was over here doing a million things, but we certainly weren't loving each other very well.
So at this point, we have four lovely girls that we're raising in urban New York City. Geri's tired, she's exhausted, she's half depressed. I
remember saying to Pete, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And he'd say, come on, you can do this. Just one more year, and we'll get over the mountain, and things will even out.
And so it was in January 2nd of 1996, 2 years into this journey, Geri comes to me and says, I quit the church. I'm leaving.
I remember feeling sad, angry, disappointed at times, and wondering, when is this going to slow down, or does life always have to be like this, maxed out?
I remember she stands on the bed and wakes me up in the middle of the night, and she just starts to tell me in a not so nice way what it had been like to be married to me the previous 8, 9 years, the roller coaster ride that she'd been on.
The most painful and wonderful thing that was revealed actually in that time was that the problem was not out there. The problems were not small children, the problem was not New York City, and the problem was not pastoring, although all those things are very difficult. The problem we found out was not out there, it was in us.
And I'll never forget it. I just listened to her, and it was just an amazing moment because it was the most honest moment in our marriage up to that point. I realized she was not holding back.
So it began a great journey of intimacy with ourselves and with each other, and then with God. I mean, the intimacy with God grew. And we thought, what, if we can write down this in a book and get our story in a book and what we've learned, then maybe we can save some other pastors and families from the pain that we experienced.